We were scheduled to have Henry Stone up next talking to the staff of the Simpson County Literacy Council, but Henry came down with laryngitis, so he had to postpone his segment. But I'm here, and I'm healthy, and my guest is here, and she's healthy, and that's pretty good for both of us. Allow me to introduce Irene Harding Cornett. She's come in today to talk with me, and I had to do a little persuasion to get her here, but I'm glad she agreed. Her grandson, Kelly Harding, told me that Miss Irene is 91 years young. So we're going to talk a little bit about the past 90 years. Some of them I remember, some of them I don't. So if you're 91, does that mean you were born in 1911?
That's exactly right. June the 9th.
June the 9th of 1911.
That's a long way ago.
And that you were born here in Simpson County?
Well, no, it was in Warren County.
Warren County.
Little old house had one room upstairs and one room down in the kitchen.
Uh-huh. Were you born at home or in a hospital? Is there like a midwife? Or?
That's right. Back then you didn't even go to the hospital, I
Yeah.
don't reckon.
No, I think that's right. Most, I know my grandmother had a lot of her children at home.
That's right.
Well, when did you come from Warren County to Simpson County?
Oh, me.
Do you remember how old you were? Or?
Well, let's see. We moved into Woodburn then, and I remember being there at an old hotel over by the railroad. You
really?
Remember that?
Well, not when it was open.
No, well, back then, that's my daddy worked there for a while.
Okay.
So I remember that. And
I know, now there's a lot of empty buildings, and I know at one time Woodburn was a
that's exactly
hopping
right.
place.
That's right. And you go around now and you don't even see anybody in any of those houses.
That's
hardly.
right. That's right.
But,
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I thought Woodburn was something back that long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then how did you get from Woodburn to Franklin?
Well, my daddy was one that moved.
Uh-huh.
He moved out here. He moved somewhere else, and he moved over in Warren County somewhere. Finally went to Simpson County, and 2 or 3 times he moved before else finally got settled.
Uh-huh.
So that's we went to Franklin, Kentucky then.
Yeah. Well, now all these moves, did you do that by horse and buggy, or did y'all have a car? When did you see your first car?
Well, let's see. My first car, I can tell you the first time I rode in a car.
Okay.
We were, let's see, where were we? We were in Nashville at that time, and I was about 5 years old, I guess, and my daddy had never driven a car, and he was parked back in the back, and the alleys back then would have board fences on both sides up high.
Yeah.
So he got started, and I told Mama, I said, now I'm scared that he'll run into that fence, and I'm going to sit on your lap. So she held me real tight, and he'd hit one side of the fence and then the other before he could ever get balanced, and I was scared to death. Finally, he got settled out, and we was going to one of my uncles, Uncle Johnny Keaton, and we had to cross the bridge, cross the river.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I was scared then.
I bet. Yeah.
Because I thought he'd run off, and I said, Mama, hold me tight, and I'm not going to look.
Yeah.
But we made it. Didn't have any problem.
Well, I'm glad you made it. Now, your family were Bogles, that was your last name? What did your father do for a living? He worked at this hotel.
He worked at the hotel, and then he's worked at the grocery stores, mostly grocery store, and then the last job he had the ice house in Franklin.
I see.
You know where the ice house
I do.
was?
I remember
well,
the ice
he
house.
was there several years, and that's where he was when he quit working.
Yeah. Well, what was it like growing up back then? People my age and younger, if you think about 1910, 1912, and up to the 1920s, you think of Franklin as just a real rural place, and everybody pretty much connected to farms and not a whole lot of traffic. And is that accurate? Or?
That is accurate. And we lived on the very last house on Madison Street, the end of Madison down there. And I had to walk from there all the way to the grade school. And back this, I remember so specifically in the winter, she made me wear long underwear. And I was embarrassed to death with it, So as soon as we'd get out of sight of her, I'd roll it up under my skirt.
Okay.
And then they wouldn't know that I had on that long underwear.
And then when you started back home,
I
you
had to
got
put
it
it back
inside of the
down.
house.
Yeah, I had to put it back down again.
And she never did catch
she
on?
She never did. I finally told her about it, but she didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now, where was the grade school then?
It was, well, let's see. Where was the grade school? It's there on Main Street there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now, you know, this is back before your time, but up now where the junior high and the high school is, they had what they called the Franklin Female College.
That's
Was that still going?
That was still going. I remember that very well.
Okay. Did you ever go to that?
No, never
Okay.
did go to that.
But did you then go on to high school
Yeah.
here in
grade
Franklin?
school and high school.
Okay. And it wasn't Franklin Simpson then, it would have just been Franklin, right? Because I think there was a Simpson County High School. Because, see, my mother went to Simpson County High School.
Well, now, where was that now?
That was up on the hill across from where Wendy's is now, the school on the hill. And that was the county high school.
Yeah.
And then when they consolidated in 1944, I think,
Yeah.
then it was
Went
the
to-
high school. It
yeah,
was Franklin Simpson.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you remember, were there very many people in your graduating class in high school? Was there just a handful of you, or
There might have been 20.
20 or so? Yeah.
About 20.
Yeah. There's about 200 now. So.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at the other day and saw all those pictures, you know, of the graduating class. I thought that's more than was in the whole school.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole school.
Yeah. Is there any, I know it's been a year or two, but is there any teachers that you remember making a big impression on you when you were in school?
Oh, yeah, I can't think of nobody's name right now, but I just thought this woman was the grandest thing that ever was. She was my first grade teacher, Lily Meta.
Yeah?
Remember Lily Meta?
No, she's before my time.
That's before your time. And let's see, who else? McClanahan. You remember
Okay.
her? But that's before your day.
Well, now, I knew
All
Miss
right.
McClanahan, but it may not be the same
All right, who
one.
was your first grade teacher?
My first grade teacher was Miss Coomer. Well, Miss Nell Jepson first.
No.
I had her for half a year, and then I had Miss Coomer for the other
Yeah.
half of the year. So, but I came along just a few years after
Oh,
you
yeah,
did. so-
several years
yeah.
after.
Well-
and a lot of things had changed in that period of time,
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, now, you told me about seeing your first car. What about your first airplane?
The first airplane, we lived, let's see, where was I? I don't remember what street, but anyway, I had a rabbit, and it
Okay.
had gone across the street over there, and I went over there to get it.
Uh-huh.
And Mother was with me, too, you know, and this house was up that way, and they didn't have any underpinning. And we heard this airplane, and I thought the Germans was coming after us right then. So I got under that house as quick as I can.
Yeah.
And she had a fit because I wouldn't come out. And she said, "Now I tell you, I can't whip you under there. But said, when you get out, if you don't come on out pretty soon, I'm going to wear you out."
Yeah.
And
did
so I
you-
got out. That is the first airplane I'd ever.
Between the Germans and a whipping from
Yes,
her,
sir,
you take your
I'd
chances
take-
with the
that's
Germans.
Right. Oh me.
Have you flown in an airplane since then?
Oh yeah, but I don't really care too much for it.
No.
I've always got that fear. See, after Jim Cornette and I married,
Mm-hmm.
he was ready for us to go everywhere.
Yeah.
So I went all the way to Alaska in the plane, and
If you was going to go, you had to
I
fly
had
to get there,
yes,
didn't
sir,
you?
I had to fly
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
So we had a wonderful life.
Well, that's good. That's
Because
good.
I had never had the privilege of going all these places where I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go, and we went to the Bahamas and to Alaska, and all over the United States except Utah, Nevada, and that little strip right
Mm-hmm.
through there. I didn't go in those states.
Well, how did Kentucky stack up with all these other places?
Well,
you ever
I-
tempted to move somewhere else?
No, sir, I wouldn't give up Kentucky for any of them.
Really? You like it? Like it pretty good? huh?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, you would have been a teenager in the 1920s.
That's right.
And, you know, in movies and things, they talk about the roaring 20s and the jazz age and all that, and people doing the Charleston.
Oh, yeah.
Was there stuff like that going on in Franklin? Did
Oh,
you do
yeah.
the Charleston? Or?
Well, I wasn't very good on it because Mother thought dancing was the worst thing ever was.
Oh, okay.
And I had to slip out if I did any of those things.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I remember all that very well.
And then after the 20s, of course, the 30s was the Depression.
Yeah, and I sure.
Were you aware of how hard, that it was hard times? or-
Absolutely, I was aware of it. Shoot, we just didn't have anything hardly.
Yeah.
Let me see, where did I live in the Depression? That was in the 30s.
Uh-huh.
Well, you see, I married, I believe, in 1932.
Okay.
So we had the Depression in our first married years.
I see.
And
Yeah.
I lived in Livermore, Kentucky.
Livermore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to Western, and W.L. Matthews, I guess you remember.
I've heard the name.
Heard of him, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's for your day. I was in school, it was second year and close to the end of Western, and he called me and he said, Irene, what would you do if you was to go somewhere and had 50 children to keep quiet and teach them a little something? I said, well, you know me, I'd attempt it, I could do it. He said, that's what I thought. So you get your duds together, you're going to Livermore, Kentucky in the morning.
Oh, so he kind of tricked you into
sure
that
did.
job, didn't he?
So
Yeah.
he said, you get things ready and go right on home, and said,
Yeah.
get your ticket will be ready for you and all. And mother-in-law, she was so mad she couldn't. Says, you can't go off over there your age, don't know where you're going, won't know anybody or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I'm going. So we went on this train, and let's see, where I went to Russellville to get on the train.
Okay.
Had no screens on the windows.
Huh.
Flies and bugs and everything, and then we'd go through that little tunnel,
Yeah.
and all that was awful. So I thought, my goodness, I won't make many trips through here.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got to Livermore, I was impressed with it, of course, and this young man was standing out there to see what the new teacher looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened to be Jimmy Harding.
Yeah.
So he was.
Uh-huh.
So see, I didn't think about anything like that then, but he said,
Uh-huh.
that's the one I'm going to have right there.
I'll be.
What he
Yeah.
said. So
So-
just in a couple of days, we started dating,
Uh-huh.
and wasn't too long, then a year or two till we got married.
I see. Did you all get married over there in Livermore?
Yeah, we got married in Owensboro.
In Owensboro.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Livermore must be close
yeah,
to
it's close.
Owensboro.
It's about 18 miles. from
Okay.
there. And between Livermore, have you been through there?
I think I have.
All right, you're going just as straight as you can on the highway, and there's
Yeah.
a little bridge, and it's up like that, just almost straight.
Uh-huh.
So back before Jimmy and I married,
Uh-huh.
he and some girl was in that, and they decided that they would see if they could go fast enough to skip that and go hit on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine what happened. So that broke up his trying to do that.
Uh-huh. You're just as glad he got that out of his
That's
system
exactly
before
right.
he...
Yeah.
Well, how long did you all stay up there? Because eventually you moved back to Franklin.
Yeah,
right?
well, see, both of our children was born over there.
Okay.
And let's see, and then of course, had the Depression,
Mm-hmm.
and Mother and Daddy, the bank went bankrupt, and what little money they had was in that, so they was in bad shape.
Yeah.
So they had to hire somebody to take them over to Livermore, and we had 2 bedrooms, and then there was another room we could fix for another bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have anything to do but to come over there with us because he owned his house.
Right.
So they came over, and then they stayed there until Willie got through high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rough going, but
Yeah.
you do what you have to do.
Do what you have to
Uh-huh.
do, yeah.
So then she went back and she went to work the picture show, and Daddy got the ice house and sold ice for years and years and years, and so then we finally came back to Franklin too.
Yeah, and didn't y'all get in the grocery business
the grocery
at some
business,
point?
Was in the grocery business 19 years before we ever got out of it.
Yeah. Was that on the square where you
Block
were
off
located?
the square.
Block off the
Yeah,
square.
down
Okay.
there where the Liberty Picture Show used to be,
Oh,
right
yeah.
next there on the
Uh-huh.
by the alley.
Yeah, on the-
That's where.
on the-
So we stayed there, I guess, a
Cedar
year or two. Then we moved over on, let's see, the north side of the square,
Mhm.
at a bigger building then, and that's where we were there the rest of our years then.
Yeah. Were there a lot of little groceries in Franklin?
No,
back
not
then?
too many.
So I guess y'all did,
Oh
did you
yeah,
do a pretty
we
good
did
trade then?
business, And I would get so aggravated when we were there on the square on Saturday night during the summer. All the benches would be just lined up,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd all sit right there until they saw us starting to turn the lights out, and here they all came.
Wait till the very last.
Wait till the very last to get the groceries, and then they'd go home.
Huh.
So if we was going to leave at 10 o'clock, it was 11 before we got away.
Hmm.
And that's the way they did that every Saturday night. There wasn't anything we could do about it, but
Yeah, I guess if you tried to close an hour earlier, they just
done the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we just went, oh.
So town was full of people on
Oh,
Saturdays.
yeah.
Saturday
Oh,
was a
yeah.
big day.
Saturday was a big day.
Yeah. Did you remember when they had the Mule Day
Oh, yeah,
celebrations?
yeah,
Tell me something about how that was.
Well, I'll tell you, it was tremendous. That's exactly how it was. And I was scared to death of the mules.
Really?
And they had lots of them around.
Just right out on the street,
On
right?
the streets, Yeah, so you just didn't get out in the street, and all the sidewalks and everything were crowded, but there'd be, a bunch of them there. And they'd finally decide the best one, and Mule Day was a big thing.
Well, didn't we have a movie star that came one year?
Yeah, and I've got pictures of that, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get to meet her?
I got to meet her.
Yeah.
Who was she?
Marjorie Weaver?
Marjorie Weaver, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Gosh, that's really
And
big
they
time.
had a radio broadcast, I think, from Franklin, nationwide,
Yeah.
CBS radio. Did you get to be on the radio?
No, I don't believe I was on that now. I'll tell you when I
You might
was
have
on the
sold them a
radio.
sandwich. Okay, when?
When, let's see, Betty and Bob Dowell were going together.
Okay.
And this thing came out, why if you write your life and everything and send it in, if you were selected, you'd get all that free.
Ah.
And I said,
Okay.
Betty Ann, you do that. Now, Mama, I'm not going to do that. You know I wouldn't win, and so I'm not going to do it. So Big Ike wrote it out, and honey, it won.
All right.
And she had free trip up there, and Joanne Raines, Joanne, you know who I'm talking about.
Married to Stan Portman,
Yeah,
right?
Stan Portman. Joanne and I went with her. All three of us our ways were paid.
Oh.
And we stayed up there till after the wedding.
Now, where was this you went to?
New York
to
City.
New York City.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
You talk about 3 country gals in New York City.
Bet you took the town by storm,
We sure
didn't you?
did. And then after they got married and all, it was a lovely wedding and everything. And it didn't cost a dime at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And they started on their honeymoon, and so Joanne and I still had some time before we could go back.
Yeah.
So we put our money together and hired us a taxi driver to ride us around all these other places we hadn't seen
Oh.
till we used up all of our money,
Yeah.
and then we'd go back and get
So
on
did
our
you
bus.
like go
and
to
come.
the Empire State
Yes,
Building,
sir.
and
Yes.
Statue of Liberty?
Yes, sir. And I'll
and-
tell you that, oh man, that Empire State Building is something else.
Yeah. Went all the way to the top, I guess.
Almost, and I said, now I'm just not going any further, Joanne. You'd look out a little bit and it'd just make your head swim.
Yeah.
You talk about 2 country girls, now that is 2 country girls.
Well, now you said in later years you traveled a lot. Have you been back to New York City after that one trip?
Yes, I have. The last real big trip that Jim Cornette and I made, it was a bus trip. And we went through every one of the eastern states, all the way to New York City, and would stop at the different places and then come back down the other side.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a
So-
nice trip.
Oh yeah, we had a big time. That's all
Yeah.
there was to it.
Yeah. Did you feel a little more sophisticated the second trip?
That's the truth, I sure did. I felt like I knew a whole lot about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it was, I couldn't imagine anything being as big as it was when we went.
That first trip
And
to the
got
wedding.
off of that bus.
Yeah.
See, Joanne and I, Betty Ann was already, he was there.
Okay.
Betty Ann, Joanne and I went on the bus. So we thought we knew where he was going to be, and we went there, and he wasn't there. And I thought, lands, what will we do?
Yeah.
What do? So it
We're
went
on
in.
New York City, yeah.
Yeah, and we walked up another block, and in that other block then, that were there.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
We had some
About
wild
what year
times.
was that? Do you remember? that
32, I'd say, was that?
No, probably was a little later than that because
See, Betty Ann.
I'm thinking Joanne. I think Joanne graduated from high school about 52. She already graduated from high school. Probably had. I
Let me
imagine she's
think.
going to New York City.
30, 50. Yeah, I guess it was 52.
Yeah.
That's right.
A little bit after the war. Yep.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
tell me a little bit about what it was like here during World War II. Of course, we had several people from Simpson County who were off serving in the armed forces and, war bonds and things like. I've seen pictures of the courthouse lawn with, signs encouraging people to buy war bonds.
Oh,
and
yeah, they did that.
all of that. Do you remember much about the
No.
war years in particular? Or?
Not anything particular on that. I know everything was hard to get a hold of, and we didn't have any money to mount anything.
Yeah, stuff was rationed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all ration. We had those. I've saved my little ration book. I've got still
Have
got
you?
that.
Yeah. Yeah. You something of a pack rat, are you?
I'm a pack rat if there was one. Are you?
My wife thinks so. I think I just keep the necessary stuff.
Well,
but-
mine's just necessary too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You just got to explain it to
Oh,
them,
man, that's
how
right.
it is. Well, now, after the war, though, the economy got better, and things, money was maybe a little easier to come by. And I know a few weeks ago we had Ronald Dunn on here. He was sitting where you're sitting.
Yeah.
And he was talking about going into business there with Dunn Brothers Radio and TV. And he might have had the first television in Franklin, but I bet you probably had the second one or the third one.
That's exactly right, sure did.
All right, well, tell me about that.
When we got that television, we put it out in the yard because they found a lot of them had never seen it, you know.
Just where people could come
where
by.
they could come, and there was a big crowd out there. That was here on West Kentucky.
Okay.
Big house there,
Yeah.
big post.
Three blocks off the square.
And everybody came. Well, we couldn't hear much, but every now and then you'd see a little picture and hear something, and they'd all holler, you know. That was big doings.
Yeah. And now people don't, you know, take it for granted.
That's exactly right.
Did people tend to visit more back then, to come sit on the porch and visit?
Well,
or?
I tell you, I worked. See, we had a grocery store, and I worked much of the time. I didn't do too much visiting.
Yeah.
But we'd sit out in the yard and things like that, and
Did you go to the picture show very often?
went to the picture show. And after I had children, well, of course, they had to go every weekend.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, how long did you say you all were in the grocery business? 19 years, right?
19 years, I think. I wrote some things down so I
Oh,
would
okay.
remember.
So you got all your facts and figures
Yeah,
handy there.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, somewhere along in that time, didn't you join the historical society here and get interested in local
president
history?
for several years.
Yeah. How did that interest get started?
I always liked that type stuff anyway, and it was really good. We had a lot of members and everything. I enjoyed that very much. That was the historical society.
Yeah. Well, and of course now they've got where the old jail was as their headquarters.
Yeah.
But I guess when
Well,
you were
now
president,
this-
you all didn't have any kind of headquarters or anything, did you? Or did you just meet in people's houses? Or?
No, let me see. Where did we have our headquarters? I remember us being over that other building, but that was where they are now, but that is long to last.
Yeah.
But we
I know-
might have met in houses to start with.
Well, I know there used to be stuff at the Goodnight Library
Yeah,
that
the
you all
Goodnight
had
Library.
collected. Yeah.
Let's see, we'd do that at in the basement. That's where we'd have that.
Down in that, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, there's still groups meeting in that basement
That's
today.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you were away from here when they built the library and the auditorium, weren't you? You were probably in Livermore then, because they built that back about 36. So I guess you were over in the Owensboro area back then.
No, I don't think so.
They built
Let's
it
see.
at WPA, I think. Built the auditorium.
Yeah, they were building on that. That's right. When we came back to Franklin.
Yeah, and that's of course still going
Yeah.
today. Yeah. Well, what has the way the downtown looks? Has it changed a whole lot in all the years that you've been living here? When you drive through, does it feel and look pretty much like the same town, or do you think sometimes, man, I can hardly recognize it?
But
to what
you know,
it used to be?
there's not been too many changes in a lot
Really?
of those buildings. No. Of course, they've kept things painted, and most of them, except some upstairs, they don't do anything much to those. And
So the storefronts looked
and
pretty similar.
Sugar and Willis was over on the, what would that be, the east side? Yeah,
Yeah,
the east side.
yeah.
They were there. And
Yeah. I guess there was a hotel where Sullivan's was,
that's
right?
right, hotel there.
A lot of people stay in
And
that
then
hotel.
yeah, but they did, quite
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
And our first little grocery store was down, like I say, right behind the hotel there. And they'd get up there, and we could see them, you know, from upstairs window. You know, they'd come out there, and we could see them. And then we went over onto the other square. It was there a good many years before.
Was there a lot more traffic on 31W before they built I-65?
Oh yeah, a lot of it changed.
Just a lot of out-of-towners coming through.
Yeah.
Any of them ever stop in and buy some groceries, or?
Oh yeah. We had a good grocery business.
Yeah.
Of course, I enjoyed it. Of course, I've worked all my life. I've never been one to sit down and do nothing.
Right.
And that's the reason I've got these years behind me. Because if you don't keep active and busy, you're not going to be here long, is my idea.
Well, that's good philosophy.
That's right.
Now, you talked about living on West Kentucky and having your TV out there.
Yeah.
But I know that sometime before your first husband passed away, you and he built a log house. And if I'm remembering right, you got logs from other log buildings all around. Why did you want to live in a log house?
I always wanted a log house, and my mother thought that was the dumbest thing it ever was.
Yeah.
She said I'd be embarrassed to death to have to live in an old log house. And she died before we got it built, finished. She didn't get to see it.
But you liked the way they looked, and yeah.
And when it's cool, it stays cool. If it's warm in there, it stays warm. My heat bill is nothing much.
So how many different buildings did you all take logs from to wind up making your house?
We scoured the country, just different counties, and some of them give it to us, you know, and some of them we had to buy it, of course, then. And,
well, how did you have to find somebody with some experience
yeah,
building? I mean, not too many people build log houses.
That's right. Let's see, there was another little log house built somewhere else. I can't remember just where that was, but anyway, they had the little log house, and they built the rest of the house around it. And we got the logs out of there, and that was one, and all the rooms, log houses, was 20 by 20.
Okay, that was just pretty much standard.
That was standard.
Okay.
And we found out who had built that room in there. And it took, I don't know, 3 or 4 to build, and it took 11 months to get the house built, ready for us to move into.
So you had to wait a while.
She had to wait a while, and I went to the bank, and I asked Joseph Blewett, I said, Joseph, I'm asking you a big thing. Okay, what is it? I said, I'd like to have a just open account, and me just borrow the money as I need to build this house. Well, you can do that very thing. And I said, then as I can, I'll pay it back to you.
Right.
So that's how I paid for my house.
And you're still living in that house
still
today,
living in that
right?
house.
Now you're 91, but are you still living by yourself?
Still living by myself.
Still drive a car?
Still driving my car. My license is good for 2 more years.
All right.
So
well, now if you drive down an alley, do you hit the fences?
No.
No, you're a good driver.
I'm a good driver.
Okay, so I wouldn't be afraid to see you coming.
No, you could ride right with me.
Well, now your first husband passed away. I guess y'all probably hadn't been in that house too awful long, had you?
Yeah, we'd been in it a little bit. He died in '89.
Okay.
And
would y'all build it in the late 70s?
In late
or something?
70s,
Yeah. But then.
But he liked it too.
Yeah.
So he was crazy about it.
Yeah.
So the first night we stayed in the log house. I was so thrilled with it being out there in the country. Had all my windows up. And we had the lake back there.
You got some trees and a little
We built
lake.
the lake sometime before that, you know.
I see.
Of course, I bought that farm a number of years ago, and I've forgotten the guy's name, lived in that second house over there on my place there. And so I was all determined to live over there sometime. So anyway, we got the house built, and the first night we was there, we just thrilled to death and had the windows all up. The doggone frogs hollered so and everything that we had to close the windows and turn the air conditioning on.
Just so you could get in.
So I could go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, that road, that is named after you, isn't it? Don't they call that the Harding Road?
Yeah, see, that come through our place.
I see.
So.
Did you know they were going to name it?
Yeah, they wasn't going to get the road space unless they did.
Oh, well, okay.
So I just gave it to them, that space through there.
Okay, so you donated.
Yeah, I donated that.
And then that area's been built up since you all built your house a lot.
And I wasn't.
It's not quite as much in the country as it used to be, is
Not in the country at all. I'll get out there at the end of my drive and maybe sit there for 10 minutes before I can even get out on the road.
Yeah.
And at that beginning time, I didn't know there was going to be all that bunch across the road from me.
Well, you can't tell what the future's
No,
going to bring.
you sure don't know. But anyway, we had peafowls.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And you know what a peafowl sounds like?
Oh,
It makes that noise.
Yeah, I do.
So the people said, now they'll just worry you to death over there where they lived, over that bunch over there. So I heard these little kids, they come down there to my gate. I was fixing to go down there and they didn't see me. And something said about going up there. No, you don't want to go with Miss Hardin's. There's something over there that really gets you. Said it makes the awfulest sounds you ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
They do sound like they could take a bite out of you. They do.
We never had anybody ever coming up there or anything at all that way.
Well, tell me about your second husband, Mr. Cornett. Didn't you all know one another as children and then got reacquainted?
That's right. Well, it wasn't really children, but it is back before either one of us. Well, let's see. I guess we was about, I don't know. we'd been about college age, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
And we knew each other, and we'd see each other. And of course, I meant to bring that and read it to you, and I forgot it. That I wrote about our life. It always
yeah.
really, really interesting if I did do it. Anyway, why I put all that stuff in there, you know, and then I'd say this is all until the next writing or something that way. And I did the whole thing from the beginning until after he died. And of course, he loved it out there too. So after Jimmy died, and Arlene C. and I were good friends, graduated together, and after she died,
That was his first wife?
His first wife. Well, to cap it all off, just not long before she died, we'd gone to some kind of to-do, and I was sitting next to Jim, and Arlene was on the other side, and Arlene reached over and says, I want to tell you right now while I'm thinking about it, if something happens to me, I want you to take care of Jim. And I said, well, I'll sure do it. I said, don't you worry a minute about it. So after she died, and it hadn't been many months, Jim called me.
Okay.
He said, I wonder if you remember what you said back a year or so ago. I said, I don't know or not. He said, you said that if when she died that I'd be sure to help take care of you. And he said, I'm ready now if you take care of me. I said, okay, come on out.
So he did.
So he did, and I guess we dated a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that.
And you had a big church wedding.
We had a big church wedding. Did you go?
I did. So you walked down the aisle. You made a very pretty bride.
Oh, yeah. I thought, shoot, we swell do it best way we can this age.
Yeah.
So we had a good life, I'll tell you. He was the best man that I've ever known in my life.
And y'all got to visit lots of places
We
while
just
he was
went
alive.
anywhere that I wanted to go while he was ready to take me. And our trip we just planned was to go to California.
Is that right?
And when he got sick, you know, and he was standing up there shaving. We was fixing to go somewhere then, and plump, he fell right there in the floor. And the stroke was really bad, and he didn't know anything. So in about 10 days, he
Well,
died
have you
then.
got some friends that you can travel with, some girlfriends?
Oh,
or-
yeah. I still like to go. That's my middle name is Go. I've had a good life. I don't regret anything I've ever done.
Well, that's good.
And you know, a lot of people can't say that.
No, that's very true. That's
But
very
I
true.
really do. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've had hard times, but that goes along with it. And I think if you trust in the Lord and do what He wants you to do, you're going to have that kind of life.
Well, that's good. Well,
So-
you're looking very well. You're looking
So
for
I don't ever worry about anything. that way.
91. You're looking right spry.
right.
You got dressed up to be on TV
Yes,
today,
I
didn't
sure
you?
did. I dressed up to be on TV.
Well, you know, you're a single girl again. You never know. There might
Can't
be
ever
a
tell,
wealthy
can
gentleman
you?
out there.
Yeah, there was a gentleman called me last year sometime.
Oh, okay.
Sure did. And then his sister came
So
to visit.
your dance card is still out there.
It's
okay.
still there, yeah. And his sister
okay.
came and to visit him, and he called, and we went out to dinner that night. And, but,
Now, what about your family? How many children do you have? Do they live here? Grandchildren here? Tell me a little bit about
Kelly.
your family.
Kelly's the only one that's here.
Only one that's in Franklin.
Franklin.
Okay.
So I've got two children,
Okay.
Betty Ann and Bob. I
Okay.
bet is her husband.
Uh-huh.
And she has 3 children.
Okay.
And Jimbo and Kay, and they have 3 children.
I see.
So
But everybody lives away from here
everybody
except for your
lives
grandson
away
Kelly.
from Kelly. Now, Steve Harding lives in Goodlettsville.
Okay, that's not too far
That's
then.
Jimbo's son.
Uh-huh.
And then most of them are in Florida and all around.
Does the family get together at Christmas time
Yeah,
usually?
and
or-
4th of July
Do
we
they?
usually get together because my
Yeah.
place is a good place, you know, for everybody
Uh-huh.
to get on 4th of July.
Yeah.
So I enjoy every day.
Well, what, in the time you've got left, have you got plans or things something you've always told yourself, well, now here's something I want to do before my life is done? Is there
Well,
something left to do
I'm
yet?
always ready to go when anybody says go.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm feeling good and somebody hollers, I'm ready to go right then.
All right, well, there you have it. If there's anybody out there looking for somebody to go,
They'll
Irene,
know. They'll
that's
be
right.
calling me, won't
They
they?
might be calling you. Well, thank you a lot for agreeing
Well,
to
I've
do this.
enjoyed talking
I
with
know
you.
you were a little bit reluctant at first. and
Well,
I hope it hadn't been too bad. Looks like to me you've handled it pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah, well, I didn't care. I just thought,
And you
well,
didn't have to use that notepaper
No,
hardly
I
any.
didn't use that. Let's see, if that had been something I meant to say to you all day, but I don't know whether I did or not.
Yeah, you can look at over there and see if there's some funny story or something that slipped by. But you worked a lot in there. I think you shared a lot, and
Oh, yeah.
I can picture.
Oh, I just tell about my 3 children, the 6 grandchildren, and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing on here that I didn't come across with, I don't
There
think.
you go. Got it all covered.
Yeah,
All
sure
right.
did.
Well, if my TV goes out, I may want you to set yours back on the porch so I can
Okay.
come and
All right, you do that.
and watch
Now,
it
when will
there.
that be on TV?
That's going to be on TV on Sunday and Monday. Do you get cable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you be watching.
In the afternoon?
It's on all day.
All day? Just over and over and over?
Yeah, yeah. When it gets to the end, the tape just rewinds.
Oh, yeah.
Starts over again. So,
Yeah.
see, if you want to come home from church and take a nap first and then turn it on,
still
it'll
see
still
it.
be on. Or if you want to eat supper and turn it back on before you go to bed, should still be on.
So I can see it till I get tired of looking at it.
That's right.
can't I?
All Irene all the time.
Oh, gosh.
Well, now, there will be one other segment on there with that, but he doesn't talk too long.
Now,
so
who's that now?
Joe Phillips is on.
Yeah.
They're having a play. You might want to go see that. It's there.
Now, when is that?
It's coming up next weekend.
Oh, yeah, Kelly's already told me about it.
Yeah, I think Kelly's working on it. See,
Yeah,
it's about the
and
signing
he gets
of
a
the...
ticket, and then I go.
There you go. About the signing of the Declaration of
Yeah,
Independence.
yeah.
Now, you're
He
not
said-
hardly old enough. You wasn't there for that, were you?
Well, not quite.
Not quite. Oh, okay.
But
All
I
right.
know a whole lot about it.
I bet you do, being a historian.
Uh,
And you come back sometime and we'll talk a little bit more about Franklin and some of the colorful people that used to live here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have enough time to do that today. We might get you and Ronald and some of those other people.
Now,
that's
we'd
been
have a
around the
ball
square.
then, wouldn't we?
Oh, my goodness. I wouldn't have enough
Oh.
tape to hold it all. But we'll have to let this do it for now.
Well, I appreciate you doing this.
Oh, I was
And,
glad to do it. Glad to do it. Folks, I've been talking with Irene Harding Cornett, who's 91 years young and still full of life, as you can see. And we're grateful to her for coming in today to share some of her stories with us. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for some of our future programs. We hope to be talking to other interesting Franklin folk, and we'll be back next week with a new program. Thanks for watching.
And most of the time, if you have it, it will be on Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday, that's right. Hey, I need to hire you. You helping me out plugging the program. That's
Okay,
right.
I'll do
What
that.
Irene said, Sunday and Monday. We'll see you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.